Welcome back to another episode of Good Chatter. Josh Palet with Dave Palet. First time we've done a Good Chatter in quite a while, but today we're going to talk about things that bother us.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. You and I always have a list. I don't think we're those kind of people, by the way, that just look for negative things, right? I mean, do you consider yourself a negative person? Or when you go out, do you not help yourself and go, what the fuck?
One of the things I'm trying to work on is not saying what the fuck as much. Because really? I feel like when I go out, I'm always like, what the fuck's this guy's problem?
I think a lot of people do that. Do you think people do that because they think they're the smartest guy on the planet?
Yes.
Or you think they're just set in their own ways?
Both.
Both?
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, there's something about, I'll tell you right now, I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, but I also know I'm not the dumbest guy.
That's good.
Like, think of it this way. If you thought everyone in the world was like, man, that's a great idea. You are the dumbest guy on the planet.
Yeah, you're gullible as fuck.
Right,
yeah.
You are. You fall for everything, and you're like, can't you think for yourself?
Yeah. Okay, I don't think I'm the smartest guy, but I do get, worst thing about me is I don't have a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm at the gym, and I'll be like, this fucking guy, but he's really not doing anything. But he's really not doing anything wrong. And the other thing that kind of pissed me off is I'm not confrontational. So I'm like, don't fucking talk shit if you're not going to say something. So I say that to myself. It's my inner dialogue. But I'm like, yeah, I think my patience sucks.
Well, I agree. Patience is something that I think it's your age. When I was your age, I was the same thing. I think you start to understand. My patience isn't great, but there's a lot of things that take a while to upset me. You know, you have to really kind of go after somebody I care about. And then I flip a switch and I get really upset. But otherwise, I think I watch a lot of things that are ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You know, I noticed one thing last week. We're doing the show from San Diego, and I went to Los Angeles last week and driving around. And one thing I noticed about LA, a lot of people lay on the horn.
Yeah,
okay?
That's true.
And in San Diego, people don't lay on the horn.
Yep.
Well, I grew up in LA, and people all the time lay on the horn. Right now, you're living in Nashville, Tennessee. Do people lay on the horn? And
not that
they
much.
Don't. But in LA, man, it's like the old New York thing, same thing, big city. I'm sure it's the same way in Chicago.
Yeah.
And there was a situation where we're driving and I'm making a right turn on a Pico, which is a busy street. And the guy who was driving down Pico thought I was just going to go right into the street and not stop.
Yep.
So it upset him, and he drove his Tesla and he, boom, stopped in front of my car. And pulled the what the fuck, laid on the horn, and he gave me the finger, you know? And I kind of laughed at first, and then he didn't go forward. He left the car there in front of me, blocking me.
And a Tesla.
But I can see him clear as day.
Yeah.
And I'm going, dude, are you out of your mind?
Yeah,
and I'm looking, look at this frumpy asshole in his Tesla. And I'm like, you know, you can't tell on camera, but I'm 6'3", 225. You know, I'm in decent shape. So I said, fuck it. And I got out. Good. You know, I opened the door and I'm like, dude, this is going to be your worst day.
Yep.
And when he realized how big I was, he's like, oh, fuck. And he wanted to get the hell out of there. Well, LA, it's not so easy to get the hell out of there. There's traffic everywhere. But I got back in the car when I realized he made a mistake. But yeah, it pissed me off. I was like, who do you think you are? I put up with the horn, the bird, but now that you aren't leaving, now you're going to completely try and bully me?
You got to step up for yourself.
And I was like, I kind of laughed, you know, and was like, oh, all right, here we go.
He didn't think you were going to get out.
He didn't think I was going to get out. He didn't realize how big I was.
Yeah.
And as soon as he realized I was much bigger than him, that was a huge mistake.
What a bitch, man.
He was. It was a bitch move. Yeah. At first, I was like, all right, fine. I freaked you out. But whatever, he carried it too far. And I was like, that's it. That kind of shit pissed me off.
He's going to get fucking knifed up or shot. Dude, seriously, like in LA, dude, I wouldn't be doing that.
No, it was really a bad choice on his end. And so I started thinking about things that bother us, you know? And when I was your age, I think I didn't have a lot of patience either. And you let things bother you that shouldn't bother you. I always try and go to the advice I got was, if whatever bothers you right now is going to bother you in a year from right now,
it's good advice. Yeah.
Then
don't worry.
You should be upset. But if it doesn't bother you in a year from now, then don't worry about it.
Yeah. If it's not going to bother you in a year from now, don't worry about it. It's great advice.
It's not worth getting upset.
Yeah.
Also, but I always think as a guy, you don't want to be a pushover. You don't want to get bullied, right? It's something about your manhood or who you think you are. You don't want to be a sucker, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I think most guys feel, man, whatever happens, I don't want anyone to leave to go, I own that guy, right? Whether it's a basketball court, whether it's a party, whether it's whatever.
Anything.
You don't want anyone to go, that guy has my number and he knows he has my number.
Yeah, but you also don't want to be the guy looking for a fight. Yeah. They're like, this guy's nuts.
The days of fighting have diminished, which, to be honest with you, is a good thing. When guys, even not even that long ago, guys would throw punches crazy fast, and now guys don't do that, which shows I think we're evolving. Maybe it took us way too long, but guys do a lot of things that are weird. And so Even stuff as simple as shaking a hand, okay, which I find is interesting. Now, again, you're 28 years old, so when guys, you meet someone for the first time and you shake their hand. Let's say you go to a party and go, "Hey, this is Josh." Do guys know how to shake your hand? How do they go about it? Is it normally good, normally bad?
It's funny you bring this up because I think guys your age shake the shit out of your hand. Like
Squeeze way too hard?
Squeeze way too hard, which is very unnecessary. And people my age don't squeeze hard enough. Somewhere in the middle is where it should be.
Yeah, like, okay, that's funny you say that. So I was always taught firm handshake. You look them in the eye, firm handshake.
Yeah.
You don't try and break their hand.
No.
But you firm handshake, say, "Hey, nice to meet you." Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. But then you run into guys that will pull the dead fish. I think most people know it's just like there's no effort. Just the hands there and it's just dead fish.
It's the worst.
And if somebody does that to me, because it happens to you one time, you're in your mind, you're like, "What the fuck is that?" and dude, I will squeeze the shit out of you until I can crack your knuckles. I mean, I'll try and break your hand.
Yeah.
Do not give me the dead fish.
So you rather somebody squeezes your hand hard than dead fishes you?
100 times over. You dead fish me shows me you have no respect for me at all as a human being.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't even be touching your skin to my skin. I'm going to dead fish you. I'm not going to grip
Like you're
it
not
all.
worth my fucking time.
No. And I'm telling you, not only will I squeeze your hand as hard as I can and try and pop that knuckle out, sometimes I'll take this finger here and I'll put it in between my hand, like, you know, the, "Hey, really nice to meet you" move.
Ooh.
But I put this knuckle in there and then I put the pressure in here and man, it hurts like hell.
You're a little bit crazy.
Oh, yeah, fuck that, because you're disrespecting me. Don't bother. It drives me nuts. But then you run into the guys who also go to the business schools, you know, the ones who are whatever you want to say, whatever business school back east, and they always have to do the upper angle handshake. So it's not even going for handshake this way. It's not the dead fish. It's, "Hey, nice to meet you." It could be someone who's 5'2". They still want to get the effort from up here, and you're like, "What the fuck's this power move?"
What is that? Yeah, is that a power move?
It's a power move. It's a power move. I'm better than you.
That's an I'm better
I'm
than
up
you?
here, you're down here. And you'll see guys do this move.
Yeah.
You haven't had that happen to you?
Not that often.
So it's one of those things where it drives me. Someone pulls that move, same thing. I'll try and break your hand.
Dude.
It is the most disrespectful thing going, because you really aren't saying "nice to meet you." It's now completely a mind game in their head of, "Watch this. I don't care if I'm 5'2", 110 pounds. I'm going to still go in this way."
Yeah, there's a level of insecurity there if you're doing that to other grown men.
But I think they're taught to do that. Whatever you do, you have to get the
You think
upper
they teach
hand.
that in business school?
I don't know where the fuck they teach that. I don't know why I always think it's someone that's going to the Hamptons that's taught that.
I got to pay attention to that.
Yeah,
honestly.
watch out. If someone does that to you, I'm telling you, they're disrespecting you. I'm a big thing on, "Hey, very nice to meet you. Look you in the eye, shake hands. Boom, we move on." It shouldn't be that big of a fucking deal.
It's not. Yeah, but people make it a big deal.
Yes, pay attention to this one.
Okay,
I swear
I will.
to God, pay attention to
All
that.
right, here's mine. I'm really big on airplane etiquette.
Okay.
I think people do not know how to act inside of an airport and inside of an airplane. Here's one.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's early in the morning or the afternoon or any time really, you close that window. Like really, you need to close the window, because if there's any light whatsoever, you can't keep it open. It's just fucking rude, dude, because everybody's trying to sleep for the most part. Most people are trying to sleep or work, and you have that light hitting you this right on the side of your eye. It's just impossible to watch TV, work, or sleep. It is the worst, dude.
So okay. What about when you're landing? Is it okay to flip it open when you're landing?
Absolutely.
It's okay to look out the window and go into a new city and say, "Okay."
Dude,
But
yes.
if you're in the middle of, let's say, Kansas, and there's nothing to fucking see anyway,
Exactly.
shade down.
Shade down, dude. There's nothing to look at. But if we're landing or taking off, keep it open. It's fine. I don't care. But if we're in the middle of nowhere like Kansas or over the ocean, dude, close your damn window. Like, dude, like why? And here's another power move that guys do on airplanes. So you're sitting, and if you're in the middle or whatever, and they try to put their leg on your side of the seat.
Oh, fuck that.
Dude, that's like, we're almost got to fight at that point. Like, there's nothing you can say to the airline attendant, like, "Look at this." But like in your head, you're like, he's trying to power move me right now. Pisses me off, dude. I hate
What if you
that
came
shit.
in with like just a roll of tape and you just put the line in between, like, "Don't cross this line"?
I'm about to. Okay. Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you're sitting.
I do something on airplanes that I'm going to ask you if it's offensive. Go ahead.
Okay, I got one for you first. So let's say you're sitting in the aisle. Okay.
Yeah.
Who gets to put their arm on the armrest on this side in the middle?
Oh, that's funny. I think the guy in the middle.
He gets both armrests.
Yeah, he probably does.
He gets both
He probably
armrests.
does.
Yeah.
He has a shitty seat, so you get two armrests.
You give him both armrests. Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right, because the other guy, everyone else has something to lean against.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
I got you. Yeah, it's a dick move if you're on either the window or the aisle and you're taking both armrests. You're right. That's
And
a dick move.
now he's or her
Yeah.
like this. It's not
cramped in.
Yeah.
So I was like the temperature cold. No matter where I am, I like the air on me. I have to have air moving.
Yeah.
So I'll be on an airplane and I'll look to the people to my side and see if they're using air above. And if I'm looking and going,
That's a dick move, yeah.
they aren't using there. And
Take their air?
Before we even take off. I mean, dude, if I'm the first one in the aisle, knowing there are two people going to sit over there that I don't know,
yeah,
dude, I'll take both of them and
That's fucked, man.
And I'll put all three on me if I can. I just want the fucking hair. I hate it. It's never cool enough in an airplane
It's
for
not.
me.
It's really not.
So I always want there, but then women usually don't like there.
They don't.
They don't. And so it's one of those I try and steal it. Now here's a move that I saw a guy use that I haven't had a chance to use this yet, but I'm going to use it.
Okay.
Especially when you fly like Southwest. Okay.
All right.
And how many times have you been on a flight, you're sitting in your aisle, and everybody's thinking the same thing? Man, I hope no one sits next to me, right? You're just thinking this, and please. And you're looking down that aisle, or sometimes you're looking down, or sometimes you try and make yourself bigger than you are. Like, dude, it's going to be uncomfortable if you sit next to me. I'm a big guy, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like just sitting there all big and shit, trying to take up everything.
Yeah.
And then you're going, man, please nobody sit next to me. And for some reason I always think, man, if someone says this man, at least hope she's attractive. That's never ever happened to me.
Never.
I've never had an attractive girl sit next to me ever. Okay, ever. And so you sit there and you're going, oh my gosh, and it never works out well. And so it's always that guy that's a little sweaty, right? He's about 30 pounds overweight.
Talks a little too much.
Yeah, can I sit here? Fuck. Yeah. You know, and then you watch him forever putting his bag above your head.
Putting his nuts in your face.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
And then you want to stand. Dude, let me just stand up. Just don't put your nuts on my shoulder.
Yeah, you're like just sitting there.
Yeah. That's how it goes. Yeah. So the move the guy did was this. He sits in the middle seat, okay? Even though his seat's here, he sits in the middle seat and he looks at the people as they come down the aisle and he just taps the seat next to him. Giving them the big eyes and stuff. Like, right here, please sit here. Sit here. And everybody's freaked out and everybody walks by and then he gets both seats.
Genius.
And it's a genius move.
Yeah.
Just act like you can't wait for someone to sit next to you. I bought this ticket so you sit next to me. And sure enough, he scares the shit out of everybody. No one sits next to him.
It's awesome.
It's a genius move.
Yeah.
You know?
I never heard of that till now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's genius. Yeah. I don't have the balls to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
I don't think I would either.
Because if it doesn't work, you're like, oh,
fuck.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and then you got to tell, oh, that my seat really is the end one. Sorry, here, take this one. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's what he does. He makes eye contact and he's patting the seat the whole time. Like a dog.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. All right, couple things. We talked about different things that bother you. One of the things that I always think is funny is the guys who try and be too manly. We talked about meeting guys at the first time. So we talked about the handshake. And then you see guys at a party. And you ever have a guy go for the neck? Like go, hey, Josh. And he wraps his arm around your neck.
The worst.
It's bad because, right?
Yeah.
Because like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you grabbing by the neck for?
Yeah, what are you, my grandpa?
You can easily shake my hand, put your hand on my shoulder. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you too.
Yeah.
You can even give me a hug.
Yeah.
But to grab my neck and then to put your arm around it is ridiculous.
It's a weird power move.
It's a weird power move.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I don't think guys know how to behave. Girls don't do shit like this.
No, dude.
Guys do this dumb stuff all the time. But the move that cracks me up, and if you haven't noticed it, I don't know how many guys notice it, but whenever it's picture time, and it's a group of guys, let's say you have 5 guys in the picture, and they go, let's everyone jump in, get a picture, and guys put their arm around each other like this, and then as soon as 1, 2, 3, picture, every guy does this move. They pat the guy in the back when it's over. It's like the I'm not gay slap. Like, dude, hey, relax.
Hey, it was just a picture.
Yeah, it is. Just a picture slap on the back. Why do guys do that?
I don't know.
But every guy does it. Guys feel weird about touching other guys.
I think I do the same thing.
They all do. Yeah. Every guy does it.
That is interesting.
They all do it. I know, dude, I was the king of doing it too. And I'm like, yeah, we're all men still. Boom, slap. It's weird, right? Like nowadays, why? Like this is something I understand maybe in the 80s when people didn't know how to act or behave, but man, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
But we still got to do the I'm straight tap.
I'm straight tap, yeah. That's a good one. That was a really good one.
It's always kind of strange.
Yeah.
It's funny. We have some people coming over this week, and so you know when you have a party and you're having people coming over, you clean the house, you have to make sure everything's right, and you put a new roll of toilet paper in and whatever else, you know. Dude, do you know the proper way of putting toilet paper in?
Dude, I didn't know until about a month ago when you told me. Until you told me.
Until I complained about it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think a lot of people realize this, but it is a big pet peeve of mine. It's one of those things probably shouldn't bother me as much, but when you put toilet paper in, the toilet paper always goes on the top. It's easy to find, pull down, boom. If you have it on the bottom, you're like spinning that shit, trying to find it. It's all falling on the floor. You're like, I can't find where it starts.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, but nothing drives you crazier, especially if it's your home and you buy what's in the bathroom and there's toilet paper on the floor. Now you immediately got to go rip it off, throw it away, right?
Yep.
You aren't going to leave toilet paper. You're going to sit there and roll it back up.
No.
It touched the floor.
Yeah.
And now has to go in the toilet or go in the trash.
You're right.
Either way, you got to get rid of it. So it's one of those things that bothers me, but it happens all the time. That people I know, your mom doesn't know what if I can do.
She doesn't know.
And I've literally had this conversation. Like, do you don't know how to do this?
I'm like my mom, though. I don't care either. I just do it because I know you're going to see it.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 thing. It's like you got a 50% chance of getting it right. But when you get it wrong, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you guys? Like, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It drives me out of my mind.
Okay, here's one. I got one for you.
Okay.
Okay. Since we live in Chula Vista, East Lake, when people speak English, but yet they choose to speak Spanish in front of you, even though you don't speak any Spanish.
So they speak English and you speak English. They speak Spanish, you don't speak Spanish, and they'll speak Spanish.
It's a little bit disrespectful.
Do you ever say, hey, I know you're talking about me?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
Why would they speak Spanish in front of you if they know you don't speak Spanish?
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
Because they're talking about you.
That's what it is?
Yeah, if they aren't, then they need to think, hey, that guy's thinking I'm talking about him.
Is there any keywords I should listen for that make me know they're talking about me?
Yeah.
Which one do you think? Which one are they saying? I'm trying to figure it out.
Dude, I got a lot of go fuck your mothers in Spanish a lot when I first moved here. I was like, it's not Mother's Day, is it? Like trying to remember what I remembered in high school, like what words. And you're like, no, dude, he told you to go fuck your mother, dummy. I was like, I swear I heard madre in there. But it's one of those where, Josh's mom's Italian and her family always spoke Italian around me, yet they spoke English.
Yeah.
And I would say straight out, you guys are talking about me, obviously. And I knew they weren't. And they go, no, we aren't. Then why aren't you speaking English? I'd call them out.
Yeah.
I go, it makes me uncomfortable because I can't participate in the conversation.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. Like, exactly. You can't participate. You're just sitting there like, dude, am I supposed to be here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
that's one of those things that always kind of bothered me a little bit.
But I think anybody would feel that way. Maybe not so much in Southern California because so many people do speak Spanish. But if it was another language, if it was a Tagalog, if it was anything, people would go, wait a second, what are you saying? Right? You're saying something about someone. Yeah. I don't know. And so, I don't know, different things that go on. One of the things you were talking to me about the other day, you were looking at things to do and you were saying about being invited to parties and feeling like you weren't really invited to a party.
It's the worst, dude. Yeah. The other day I was talking to somebody and I was like, hey, what are you doing on Saturday? Oh, I'm going to so-and-so's party. You know her. Oh, yeah, I know her. I mean, I could ask if you can go. Like, well, no, I don't want to go anymore. I wasn't invited. And you just kind of gave me a bullshit invite. There's no way I'm ever going to go to a party where I wasn't kind of invited. Like, I have to be directly invited by the person having the party or else I'm not going to go. Yeah. Right? You agree with that statement?
I agree. I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too much to say, no, Josh, I want you to go to this party. Sorry you were left out. Didn't know you were in town. Whatever it is to get you to go to not feel bad.
Anything.
Yeah, but the pity invite's a bad invite.
Yeah, because if you show up to the party and the person having the party doesn't know you're coming.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Dude, that's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Like, I can't have that. Yeah.
It's funny as we're looking at the camera, I was thinking you're a tall guy. Have you ever had an issue where you go, I want right of first refusal on a picture, where you go, you don't know how to get an angle on the camera?
Every time.
Really?
Dude, anybody that takes this picture, I hate it. I hate it because I always look weird compared to everybody else. I'm so much taller. My mom's the worst. I mean, she shakes and can't get my head in the picture and just fucks it up every time. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, just fucking keep still. Like, one of the stories we like to tell is that we went to LA and we hyped. This was fucking ridiculous. We hiked up the Hollywood sign, which took forever.
Yeah, it was like 7 miles.
Dude, straight up. It was hard. And we finally get there, and I'm like, Mom, I want to take a picture right in front of the Hollywood sign. I'm literally sitting on top of like the L. And she's like, oh, yeah, I got you. And she takes the picture, and I had to get up there, and then I get down, I look at the picture, I'm all excited. She missed every fucking letter in Hollywood. It was unbelievable. How do you miss the Hollywood sign? I'm sitting on the L. Like, how did you do that?
You can literally see the sign from 20 miles away.
Exactly.
But yet you're with the sign, and she missed every letter.
5 feet away.
He's not lying.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I had to pick. This is not racist. This is actually just a fact. Asian women take the best pictures. I always find an Asian woman, if she's there, she's going to take a great picture. Found a little Asian girl there. Worked out perfectly. Every time. Works out great.
That's funny. You're right. I'm trying to remember how we got that picture. You're right. You did.
Yeah.
You absolutely
always
did.
Find an Asian woman to take your picture.
You did. It's one of the things we're talking about as far as when people tell stories and they drop the word literally. And you go, you sit there and like, there's certain things that stand out in your mind, right? When someone will say a word that either doesn't exist or you use it in the wrong form, and you sit there and it makes you forget everything they're saying because you're so focused on them butchering the language, right? Mm-hmm. Literally is one of those words that people use in a story that isn't correct. Like 90% of the time.
Yeah. Well, they'll say they fell. They go, I literally ate shit. You literally ate shit? I hope not. And yeah, exactly. I don't know what else they just said because they just said they literally ate shit.
Yeah, and you keep looking at them going, that's wrong. And then you think in your mind, should I correct them?
Do you do it?
Yeah, I do what you did. I just repeat it back to them. I go, you literally ate shit.
Yeah.
What? And then they go, what? No, I didn't eat shit. Well, you just said you did.
Yeah, literally.
And then they cannot stop saying literally. You know, as there are certain things, the fallbacks that everybody has when they speak that they either try and stop or don't remember. Like when I watch the Kardashians and they'll say like all the time.
Well, we say 100%.
100%.
All the time.
Which I try and stop all the time.
Yeah, another one that people do a lot, they go, right? When they're done talking. I go, yeah, like you're the one that said it. Yeah. So I went to the store, right? Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And the Kardashians do say like all the time.
Yeah.
But people, everybody my age, including myself, says like way too much.
It's funny you said that, but you dropped the right. We went to a football game once a few years ago, and I remember it was Chargers Ravens, and one of Josh's friends was in the back seat, and I'm driving, and every story he told was a good story, but every story ended the same way. Fuck my life, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Every single time, and I just driving down the freeway going, oh my God. And he would tell us, so anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm cleaning this horse, and this horse shits on my shoes, and next thing I walk in the house, don't realize I got horse shit in my house, so fuck my life, right? And he was like, oh my God, dude. Every story, he could have stopped. Like if I'd much rather say 100% than say fuck my life, right?
Yeah, that's a bad one. That's a bad.
I'm not exaggerating. That's 100% what he did.
Every single story was like that.
Exactly right. Oh my gosh, that's it. All right, so the little things that bother us, I'm sure there are things out there that bother you. My number one pet peeve, though, by the way, when people speak, is when people tell a story and it goes this way, and it'll go, so Janet and I went to a party. We got there, and Janet's sister was there, and I'm not talking to Janet's sister, so you do the math. And when they end a sentence with you do the fucking math, it drives me crazy. I don't want to do the fucking math. You do the fucking math. Don't tell me to do the math. But they can't stop saying you do the math. I'm like, no, just what?
Yeah.
Just finish what you're saying. Don't tell me to do the math. I never liked math. I think it's a dumb expression. Don't ever tell me a story and then right towards the end of it go, so you do the math.
Okay, what about when people tell a story and they end it with period?
That's bizarre.
I'm never going to see him again, period.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is bizarre. That is it. All right. So let's get to a Jake story. Okay. All right, before we get on out of here. Okay, we always tell a Jake story. If the first time you've ever watched it or watched us do a thing, Jake, of course, is Josh's younger brother, my son, who unfortunately passed away. But we always tell stories that make us laugh because he was the funniest guy we knew. Mm-hmm. Things that he did that you just go, what the hell are you doing, Jake? And at times it's really frustrating, but when we look back at them, a lot of times we laugh our heads off. So I was thinking about this one the other day because we're moving some things around the house. And I used to do commercials for a mattress company. And so what was great about it was they'd always give us free beds. I mean, great beds. They'd come in all the time and they'd say, hey, pick the best bed you can. So when you talk about it on the radio, you're talking about something that people might come by. So we want you to pick whatever you want. Doesn't matter how expensive it is. So we had so many beds in the house, brand new beds, that Jake was, I think, the only one that didn't have one. So we picked this giant California King, and it had the remote where the feet went up and the head went up, and it did everything basically a hospital bed would do. Way too nice for a 17-year-old kid, you know? But it was like, you know, where else are we going to put this bed? So they come to the house, they're going to take away his old bed, they're going to bring this bed in, and the two guys that are delivering it, you know, moving a bed's not easy, especially a California King, they have to bring it upstairs. Mm-hmm. And so we're standing in the room. It's Jake, it's your mom, it's me. And they go and they take the old bed out. Well, as soon as they take the old bed out, dude, they're like, I'm not joking, 50 condoms underneath that bed, okay? And I'm just like, oh, fuck, you know, in my head.
Use.
Yeah, use condoms. And at first the guys were like, we're going to act like we don't see them. You know, like we see 50 condoms, used condoms on the floor underneath the bed, but we're just going to act like they aren't there. Like they sure as fuck aren't going to pick them up. Oh. I'm not picking them up, no. You know? And in my head, I'm like, fucking Jake, you know, you son of a bitch, you know, like, and Jake's not even phased. And one of the guys finally goes, man, that's a lot of condoms. And Jake just goes, that's how I roll, like that. And I was like, I don't think that's how you roll. Like, dude, you're 17. I know you pretty well.
You're not rolling like that.
I don't remember a lot of girls walking up the stairs. I think you're just tossing off into condoms, you know? Like, I think you're a maniac. Like, why would you do that? And but he drops this role like a big time player, you know? And I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, I've been doing a radio show in this town for 25 years, and these fucking guys are going to leave my house and tell everyone, this fucking kid had 50 used condoms under the bed. And your mom's dying. Jacob, what's your problem? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. You know, everything upsets your mother.
Yeah.
And then he just like, big deal. That's the way I roll. And while I'm 100% going, you're so full of shit.
Yeah.
You're so full of shit,
He's
man.
lying.
He's lying.
Yeah.
He's just a whack job. Literally.
Yeah.